We're going to be looking at 5 maps that deserve a remastered look. Similarly to construction sites, since it's around the corner, we're going to be looking at maps that are already great or good enough, but a nice remaster would make them a lot better.
Number 7.
Forgotten Fields. Yes, I actually nailed the name. So, yes, Fields or Farm, whatever you want to call it, is possibly one of my, I guess, likable maps. And just the fact that you're just on a farm, you're currently infected in the middle of nowhere, you gotta do this, that, I don't know. But I just like this map for some reason. I just don't know why. And I did talk about how this map deserved a remastered look, but I'm going to go into a little bit more detail since it is, what's it called, one of my favorite maps. And that's the fact that the only really things I would actually add is number 1, change the weather. Like, who the hell likes it being sundown? I mean, yeah, it's okay, it's just not really great. Change it to night or at least a cloudy time. And then, I don't know, add some crops because, I mean, it's just dirt there, like, why is there no crops? Secondly, what you could do is you could add like animals in the farm, but then that wouldn't really make much sense on how the infected can't kill them or anything like that. So you could just probably leave that aside. And what you could do is in the farm and like in the barn or inside the house, you could kind of make it look like it was destroyed-ish. Like there's like, I don't know, holes in the walls, the house is about to fall apart, that type of thing, you know? Just make it look a lot more abandoned, but at the same time, it already looks good enough. And I would possibly say that's it. This map is already a decent or just good enough map, but if you were to add just a little bit more things in it, then it would just make it a lot more better.
Number 10.
Next up is Colossal Camp. Now, I know for a fact, I talked about this in a previous video, I know, and I'm going to be going into that because I just want to talk about it, really. Colossal Camp is, I believe, maybe even the biggest map in the entire game at this point. It is fucking huge of a map, but that doesn't mean that there's a lot of stuff in it. There's a house, there's a few tents, a giant hill or whatever it is on one side, a big grassy plain on one other end, and then that's it. Also like a bathroom thing, a campfire, and that's it. This map doesn't really have many things to it. And the only really thing I would say is add trees that are similarly to the, I guess, Forbidden Valley type of trees, making them a lot more bigger, having a lot more, leaves in them. And if you were to add trees like this, like copy and paste it all over the map, then it would make it look a lot more like, you know, you're in the middle of a forest and actually make it look better. And then secondly, on the borders of the map, you could just add like trees outside the map, even though there's a barrier, there's an invisible barrier, so you can obviously not go out into the forest or whatever. It just makes it look like you're actually in the forest and not just, I don't know, floating on a cube or anything like that. And that's really all I would say that I would basically, add to a Colossal Camp. Obviously make it dark, because I mean, who the fuck doesn't like it when it's dark? And plus, there's a campfire. Who doesn't like it when it's literally nighttime and there's a campfire? It just makes it a lot more foresty.
Number 6.
Next up, Forbidden Valley. I know I talked about this, but let's do it again. Anyway, Forbidden Valley, I love this map. I don't know why I love this map, like, I really do. It's just, for some reason, it's one of my favorite maps currently in this game. But I do have to say, there's barely anything in this map. And I know a lot of people agree with this, at least since I questioned if, and you guys answered. But anyway, there's barely anything in this map. There's literally a giant canyon all around. There's a house, a landing zone, and a giant water tower, and that's it. There's nothing else in this map. It's probably one of the most just open literally maps in the entire game. Now, obviously, what I would add is obviously, and people also were talking about how they wanted like cars or like abandoned vehicles just in the middle of the field, which would be nice, not gonna lie. I would also add one of those tall fences that are in flooded, the one that are like around the parking lot. That makes it actually look a little bit better. Make it look like a zone that was like a hidden, I don't know, military base or something, because I get the vibes that this was just a military base that they decided to put here because, I mean, in an apocalypse and stuff, like a hidden one. And then all of a sudden, just, of course, the infection just got here, so they're like, alright, let's get the hell out of here. This place just reminds me of a last resort of like where people want to stay hidden. And the fact that it's just an open field and that's about it kind of makes it strange, but I would just add stuff that are like military equipment, sandbags and stuff like that to actually make it look like a military base was here. That's just my opinion, but Forbidden Valley, it has barely anything in it.
Number 9.
Now we're getting into the juicy stuff. Union Cave. Now, I know a lot of people like this map too. I also actually like it as well. but there are some things to it that I would really agree that needs some changes. Number one is, I mean, the fucking trees, like, not gonna lie, they kind of look like cigarettes to me, I don't know why, but what I would do is just add these giant spine trees, just like in Forbidden Valley, all over this map. Secondly, make it dark. Who the fuck does not like it when it's dark time, or maybe just like some other time, like sundown or something like that, instead of just completely daylight outside. And inside the cave, you can have it so there's like these lanterns sitting on the ground or like on the ceiling to actually make it look like, I don't know, some sort of resort or something, I don't know. But realistically, there's not much in the cave. You could also add like a ton of boxes and furniture all around, because I mean, why not? And then on the other side where the rescue vehicle comes in, you could just add, of course, those trees from Forbidden Valley, and then like a bunch of fences like somewhere around there, probably like along the side of the road or something, I don't know. And finally, I would say at the end of what's it called, the Union Caves, where the rescue vehicle would go down the road, you could probably add just like a tunnel, because like, why not? Yeah, there are stuff that there is a decent amount of stuff in this map, but it's just the fact that literally it deserves a lot more what's it called, additions, since this map is actually a very popular one. I really do like this map, and hopefully it does get some changes, but realistically the only things I would add is trees, stuff in the cave, and that's about it, and literally would become a literally very good map.
Number 1.
Check this out.
Infected.
Alright, I'm pretty sure we all expected this. Salty Sea Harbor. It is currently my favorite map along Lake Town, and this map, I just love it. I don't know why, I just love the atmosphere of literally being in the middle of nowhere on an ocean, and the only thing that is around you is basically, of course, waters, but also this giant, I guess, like man-made platform with like a bunch of buildings, what's it called, containers and everything, and you just basically have to survive it out. Now, there are some changes that I would highly suggest. For an example, you could basically make it so there weren't as many containers, or you could possibly put like a whole different section in the entire Salty Sea Harbor platform or whatever it is. So what I would highly suggest is you could possibly add the crane that was once in construction site to this map. It only makes sense. I mean, like a giant crane containing or picking up those containers and moving them around would actually make sense. You could also add another building that was like kind of like the main station where people would be just like, I don't know, like talking or some shit like that. And then finally, what you could do is you can basically make it so there's like a little docking area where you can also have like a bunch of boats just ready there, or probably even destroyed or like gone or something like that. And also, one of the facts that I don't really understand, but kind of leads me to story details, I don't know why, is that on one of the buildings you actually see a landing zone for a helicopter. So you could possibly make it so there's like a flare there or something like that. Salty Sea Harbor is a very good map. It is one of the most picked maps in the entire game, and I would really love if more changes went into this map out of all of them. Literally, this map deserves so many other additions because it's just a fucking good map. I don't know what else to say, really. And yeah, I'll see you guys all for 42 years and have a great game.
You see this darkness has come for me. Thoughts